Hi, welcome to PhDizzle, and I'm your host, Alice Cheng, and today I'll be interviewing Malik Francis, who got his PhD in Cellular and Molecular Biology from UC Berkeley and is now a chef at his own pop-up restaurant in San Francisco called Materials and Methods. Tell me about what you studied in school.
I studied protein DNA interactions, and one of the ones that I was focusing was this P element transposase. It's an active mobile element in Drosophila species, and there's a very discrete segments at the very ends that are bound by cellular proteins, and my thesis was trying to find out what those proteins were. We found that they're involved in DNA repair after chromosomal breaks. As you start doing experiments, you figure out how the host genome interacts with this mobile DNA element, and then you realize that there's all these ancient mechanisms that you don't really know until you have something that elicits that response. The P element transposase recognizes its own DNA, cuts it, and then those cuts are how we found these two particular proteins.
And at what point did you, so you graduated, you were working in restaurants and kitchens, at what point did you want to break off and start your own or start cooking for others?
I have always had dinner parties throughout grad school. I've always had that kind of drive to cook and make people happy.
Okay. If I was going to come to a dinner, what should I expect in terms of like the food or like the experience that I'm going to get?
Hopefully you have fun, you hear good music, but you'll eat what I hope is thoughtful food. And not just thoughtful in the way that presented, but thoughtful in the way that they're harvested, the way that they're cooked with integrity, care, with love.
Outside Foundation Cafe, this is where you do your pop-ups.
Yes. Pretty much a workshop for me to just kind of play around with food and music and bringing people together to have like a really fun food experience.
Since your background is in science, do you weave science into the food?
Not in the sense of where I do like a bunch of foams and extractions and things like that, but more like in the way that I design a dish, think about a dish, think about a series of dishes, the way that I experiment with flavor combinations. Do try to take a hypothesis-driven approach.
Like, is this dish going to be good or not?
Yes. You may have these ingredients, and they work raw together, or they work partially raw, partially cooked. But in the cooking, like, is it broiled? Is it grilled? Is it poached? Is it braised? Is it seared? Is it sauteed? You don't know what's going to work until you just do the grunt work of doing experiments.
Like a guilty pleasure, like fast food restaurant? Or
I think people get the idea that like we just eat the same stuff we eat at home. When I go home, I don't want to eat that stuff. Like
okay.
I don't want it. So I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I love In-N-Out. I love donuts. I love eating pizza. I love Doritos. I love making Dorito nachos. I love ice cream. I will still eat Eggo waffles. Like
PhDizzle.
having fun with smart people who do cool things.